So we were discussing the changes in price and quantity. So if you understand the market equilibrium, then it's quite easy for you to understand or predict the changes in price and quantity. So in this slide, if you can see here, if you change the prices, so what will happen? For example, if you see the change in supply with no change in demand, if you increase or decrease the supply, then what will happen if for any reason, for reason other than prices, if supply decreases, then what will happen? So the you can see a new equilibrium here at the price of $2.5, and the quantity is 5 million bar here. So definitely quantity decreases and the price increases in this case. So you can see here, this is the effect of price from $1.5 to $2.5, and then you can see the quantity effect from 10 million bars to 5 million bars. So next, if you can see an increase in both demand and supply, what will happen if both demand and supply increases or decreases? Then what will happen? So definitely there are two simultaneous effects. For example, if an increase in demand and increase in supply, so it increases the quantity, it increases the equilibrium quantity. For example, if you see, the first one is the demand increases for any reason. So what will happen then? Then if the demand increases, then the demand curve will shift outward. First effect. Then because the demand curve shift outward, in price will increase, the pressure on price, and definitely, because the pressure on price will increase the quantity demanded, and then simultaneously the producer intended to increase more supply or supply effect, and then you can see here is the demand. Another equilibrium at the quantity of 20 million bars, so the price of $1.5. So this is the secondary effect. Now we can see this is the larger part actually, and this is the quantity effect. And ultimately, to some extent, we can say the changes in prices certain, because somehow sometimes it has happened that the price increases or decreases, depend upon the conditions or depend upon the magnitude of the supply and demand. So this is the secondary effect, so we cannot certain about the prices. The price will automatically readjust to $1.5. Of course, the initial price is $1.5, but it is not certain that after the secondary equilibrium, the price will be the same at $1.50. Now we can see if the decrease in both demand and supply, what will happen in the economy, in the market. So a decrease in both demand and supply decreases the quantity equilibrium. First one, this the blue shaded area is the blue lines are the it's our initial equilibrium condition at the $1.50 price, and the quantity was $10 million. Right now, the first thing has happened that the demand decrease, and then the supply decrease. So what will happen in the market? So another equilibrium has reached at the price of $1.5, but this time the quantity has decreased. Definitely, if the demand decrease, then definitely the producers or the suppliers are less motivated to supply more and more, because the demand, there's no demand, and of course if there's no demand, then there must be price less, or the lesser price from the earlier equilibrium. So in this case, you can see the change in equilibrium price is necessary, because the decrease in demand lowers equilibrium price, and the decrease in supply raises. So in last few cases, we have seen both supply and demands were going in the same direction, but now we want to see if they are in opposite direction, what will happen. For example, if we decrease the demand and increase the supply, so what will happen in the market? So let's see, if a decrease in demand and increase in supply, what will happen? Logically speaking, if you see, if the demand decrease, there must be a, oversupplied or more supply. So suddenly, if if demand decreases and supply increases, So it's a kind of counter affecting effect, and then the surplus area will increase. You see, this is the surplus area. As I told you earlier, that the area above the equilibrium quantity and price is the area that is called, surplus area. So you can see the magnitude of surplus area has increased in this case. Initially, it was, lesser than this, but now because they both are in opposite direction, of course, the demand decrease, and then supply has increased. So both has effect on price. So the next price is, you see the price has got down, and quantity is uncertain in this case, because we cannot say here because because the decrease demand decrease the quantity equilibrium, and the you know supply increase. So that's why we are uncertain about the quantity demanded or quantity supplied in this case. Or another case, for example, if we see increase in demand and decrease in supply, it's a kind of vice versa, increase in demand and quantity increase in quantity supply. So if demand increases and supply decreases, what will happen in the economy? So this is the initial condition you can see here. At the price of $1.50, the quantity is 10 million bars, right? In increase in demand has increased, so the demand curve has shifted to rightward, and then suddenly supply, actually demand decreased and supply, any demand increase and decrease in supply. So what will happen? So you see the area of surplus has shrink here. This one, uh, this area has shrink. This is the initial condition. Now the new equilibrium, you can see the surplus area has shrink down. So it means when demand increases and supply decreases. So in this case also they both are going in opposite direction. So change in equilibrium quantity is uncertain, because the increase in demand increases the equilibrium quantity and the decrease in supply decreases. But one thing is for sure is that the price has increased from $1.50 to $2.50. And thank you so much. Thanks for this class.